Welcome back to the channel, Rare Coins All World. If you're a coin enthusiast or just someone who likes to look through their spare change, you're in for a treat today. We're going to dive into a coin that could very well be hiding in your collection or even in your pocket change, possibly worth a whole lot more than you think. That's right, we're talking about the 1957 Lincoln penny. This seemingly ordinary coin has the potential to be worth thousands of dollars, so stay tuned as we explore its history, value, and what makes it so special in the world of coin collecting. First, let's take a moment to talk about the history behind the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909, marking the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, and the coin was met with widespread praise for its tribute to the beloved 16th president. The obverse of the Lincoln penny features Lincoln's profile, while the reverse shows a pair of wheat stalks, symbolizing America's agricultural roots. This iconic design would stay in circulation for several decades until 1959, when the wheat design was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design, which we still see today. Now, let's focus specifically on the 1957 Lincoln penny. By the time the 1950s rolled around, the U.S. Mint had been producing Lincoln pennies for nearly half a century. This means that the 1957 coin isn't necessarily rare in terms of mintage, it was produced in large quantities. However, as many coin collectors know, the value of a coin doesn't always come down to how many were made, but rather its condition, its rarity, and sometimes even special characteristics like minting errors. The 1957 Lincoln penny is no exception to this rule. The first thing to consider when determining the value of a coin is its condition. Like any other coin, a Lincoln penny that has been heavily circulated will naturally show signs of wear, scratches, discoloration, and a worn-out design. Most of the 1957 pennies that have been passed around and used for decades are in less than ideal condition. But if you're lucky enough to find a 1957 penny that's been kept in near-perfect condition, that's when the value starts to climb. When we talk about condition, we're referring to something known as grading. Grading is the process of evaluating the quality of a coin, and it plays a huge role in determining its value. Coins that are in excellent or uncirculated condition are given higher grades, such as MS 65 or MS 66, and these grades can make a significant difference in the coin's worth. So, if your 1957 penny looks sharp, with clear details, no visible scratches, and little to no signs of wear, it could be worth much more than its face value of 1 cent, but condition is just the beginning. What really makes the 1957 Lincoln penny stand out in the world of coin collecting is the possibility of minting errors. If you're unfamiliar with minting errors, these are mistakes that happen during the coin's production, and they can make a coin incredibly rare and valuable. Some minting errors are more common than others, but they're all highly sought after by collectors. A penny with a minting error can be worth far more than one in perfect condition without errors, so let's dive into a few of the minting mistakes you should look out for. One of the most exciting minting errors you might find on a 1957 Lincoln penny is called a double die. This is when the design is struck more than once, causing a slight misalignment of the features on the coin. If you happen to spot a double die on your 1957 penny, it can significantly increase the coin's value. Another potential error is an off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned when it is struck, resulting in part of the design being missing or off the edge of the coin. Off-center strikes are highly collectible and can fetch a premium price if the error is substantial enough. Additionally, you might come across a 1957 penny that has been struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the coin was made from a different type of metal or a different sized blank. These kinds of errors are rare and can be incredibly valuable. So, if you're checking through your collection or going through your pocket change, make sure to keep an eye out for these unusual characteristics. So, how much could your 1957 Lincoln penny be worth if you find one in excellent condition or with a minting error? Well, as we've mentioned, the value depends on several factors. Most 1957 pennies in circulation are worth only their face value of 1 cent, but that's far from the whole story. A penny in excellent, uncirculated condition could be worth a few dollars, and some higher-grade 1957 pennies have been known to sell for a few $100s at auction. but if you're lucky enough to find a 1957 penny with a rare minting error, the value can skyrocket. One notable 1957 Lincoln penny was sold for an astounding $40,600 at an auction. That's right, $40,600 for a single penny. This just goes to show that, in the world of coin collecting, a seemingly ordinary coin like the 1957 Lincoln penny can become incredibly valuable when the right conditions align. So, if you have any 1957 Lincoln pennies sitting in your collection or change jar, it's definitely worth taking a second look. Check the condition. If it looks sharp and well preserved, it could be worth more than just 1 cent. And don't forget to examine the coin for any potential minting errors. Double dies, off-center strikes, or other mistakes could mean you have a true collector's item on your hands. In conclusion, while most 1957 Lincoln pennies are worth only a few cents, some of them can be worth tens of thousands of dollars, especially if they're in excellent condition or have rare minting errors. So, take the time to inspect your pennies closely, because you never know, you might just be holding a coin worth $40,600. Keep looking, keep collecting, and who knows what hidden treasures you'll find. Today's video is one you won't want to miss. We're going to talk about a classic piece of American history, the 1944 Lincoln penny. This is one of those coins that might be sitting in your collection or in your pocket change right now, and it could be worth far more than you expect. So, buckle up and get ready, because by the end of this video, you'll be looking at your pennies in a whole new way. The Lincoln penny is a true American icon. First introduced in 1909, the coin was designed by Victor David Brenner to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The penny has seen several design changes over the years, but the most famous, and most recognized, design is the one we see today. On the obverse, front side, we have a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse has gone through different designs, most notably the wheat ears design, which was used from 1909 until 1958. After 1958, the reverse was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial design, which we still see on pennies today. Now, let's turn our focus to the 1944 Lincoln penny. This particular year holds a special place in coin collecting history. Why? Well, during World War II, the U.S. Mint made a temporary switch in the composition of the penny due to a shortage of copper. The 1943 penny, for example, was made from steel to conserve copper for the war effort. However, by 1944, the U.S. Mint returned to the traditional copper composition for pennies, making the 1944 Lincoln penny one of the most iconic coins of the time. You might be thinking, but why is the 1944 Lincoln penny so valuable? After all, it was minted in large numbers, right? While it's true that millions of these pennies were produced, there's more to the story. The value of a coin doesn't just depend on how many were made, it's also determined by its condition, rarity, and any potential minting errors that could make it unique. One of the most important factors in determining the value of a 1944 Lincoln penny is its condition. Coins that have been heavily circulated tend to show signs of wear, scratches, discoloration, and fading of details. The more a coin is handled, the less valuable it becomes. However, if you're lucky enough to find a 1944 penny that's been well preserved or kept in excellent condition, it could be worth much more than its face value of 1 cent. The higher the grade a coin receives, the more valuable it becomes, especially if it's graded as MS 65 or higher, which is considered uncirculated or near mint condition. Now, what really makes the 1944 Lincoln penny stand out is the possibility of minting errors. Minting errors are mistakes that happen during the coin's production, and they can make a coin incredibly rare and valuable. While the 1944 penny was minted in large quantities, the U.S. Mint was not always perfect. These minting errors can range from simple misprints to more complex issues that drastically affect the coin's appearance. Some of the most desirable minting errors in the world of coin collecting include double strikes, off-center strikes, and even coins that were struck on the wrong type of planchet. One particularly interesting minting error for the 1944 Lincoln penny is the double die error. A double die occurs when the coin is struck more than once, creating a blurry or distorted design. If you're lucky enough to find a 1944 Lincoln penny with a double die, you've got a rare and valuable coin on your hands. Another common error is an off-center strike, where the design on the coin is misaligned, causing part of the image to be missing or poorly stamped. Off-center coins are especially sought after by collectors, as they are visually striking and incredibly rare. Now, you might be wondering just how much a 1944 Lincoln penny is worth. Well, as with most coins, the value depends on several factors, including its condition and whether it has any minting errors. A 1944 penny in average condition is typically worth only a few cents, nothing special. However, coins that are in excellent condition or have been well preserved can fetch much higher prices. A 1944 Lincoln penny in near mint or uncirculated condition could be worth anywhere from $5 to $50, depending on its grade, but the real value comes when you find a 1944 Lincoln penny with a rare minting error. For example, a 1944 penny with a double die or off-center strike can be worth thousands of dollars. In fact, one particularly rare 1944 Lincoln penny with a minting error sold at auction for an astonishing $43,200. That's right, $43,200 for a single penny. This goes to show that even coins you might think are common can sometimes be worth a small fortune, depending on the right combination of condition and rarity. So, how can you tell if your 1944 Lincoln penny is worth a small fortune? The first thing to do is check the coin's condition. If it's well worn, it might not be worth much more than face value. But if you come across a penny that looks sharp, with clear details and no signs of wear, it could be a gem. Next, inspect the coin for any potential minting errors. Look closely for signs of double strikes or off-center strikes, as these can significantly increase the coin's value. If you think your 1944 penny might have a rare error, it's worth getting it professionally graded to determine its exact value. In conclusion, the 1944 Lincoln penny is a coin that holds a special place in American history. While most of these coins are worth only their face value, those that are in excellent condition or feature rare minting errors can fetch a significant amount of money. So, the next time you go through your change or look through your collection, take a close look at your 1944 pennies. You just might be holding a coin worth $43,200. Keep your eyes peeled, and who knows what valuable treasures you'll discover hidden in your pocket change. Today's video is going to be an exciting one. We're diving into a truly fascinating piece of American history, the 1950 Lincoln penny. You might be wondering, isn't a penny just a penny? Well, it turns out that the 1950 Lincoln penny could be far more valuable than its face value suggests. Stick with me as we explore why this particular coin might be worth more than you think. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since its introduction in 1909. It was designed by the talented Victor David Brenner to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The coin's iconic design shows a profile of Lincoln on the front, and on the reverse side, you can see two stalks of wheat, symbolizing the nation's agricultural roots. This wheat design was in circulation until 1958, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design that we all recognize today. Now, what makes the 1950 Lincoln penny so special? You might think that since it's a coin from the 1950s, it's not all that rare. After all, pennies have been minted in large numbers, and 1950 wasn't exactly a year of major historical upheaval. But don't let the seemingly ordinary nature of this coin fool you, there's more to it than meets the eye. The value of any coin depends on several factors, including its rarity, its condition, and, of course, any special characteristics it might have. When it comes to the 1950 Lincoln penny, condition is a major factor in determining its worth. As we all know, pennies tend to get worn down over time, especially when they've been in circulation for decades. If you come across a 1950 penny that's been tossed around in change jars or used in everyday transactions, chances are it'll show signs of wear, scratches, fading, and a loss of detail. These kinds of pennies are typically worth only their face value, or maybe just a little bit more, but what if you find a 1950 penny that's been well preserved? If the coin is in excellent condition, with sharp details, no visible scratches, and a clean, clear finish, its value skyrockets. Coins that are in near mint or uncirculated condition can be worth much more than what you might expect. A coin that's in pristine condition, like a 1950 Lincoln penny with little to no signs of wear, could be worth anywhere from a few dollars to a few $100s, depending on the grade it receives. So, if you happen to find a 1950 penny that looks nearly as good as the day it was minted, you could be holding a valuable piece of history, but the story doesn't end there. One of the most exciting things about coin collecting is the potential for discovering rare minting errors. Minting errors are mistakes that happen during the production process, and these errors can make a coin far more valuable than a perfectly minted one. In fact, many of the most valuable coins in the world are valuable not because they were produced in small numbers, but because they feature rare or unusual minting mistakes. For the 1950 Lincoln penny, some of the most valuable errors to look out for include double die errors and off-center strikes. A double die error occurs when the design of the coin is struck more than once, creating a blurry or distorted appearance. If you happen to find a 1950 penny with a double die, you've got a rare and valuable coin in your hands. Similarly, off-center strikes happen when a coin isn't properly aligned when it's struck, causing part of the design to be missing or misaligned. These types of errors are very desirable among collectors and can significantly increase the value of a coin. Another important thing to note is the role that the mint mark plays in the value of the 1950 Lincoln penny. The U.S. Mint produces coins in several different locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most 1950 pennies will have a D mint mark for Denver or no mint mark at all, which indicates that the coin was minted in Philadelphia. However, coins minted in San Francisco will have an S mint mark. Coins with rare mint marks, or those produced in lower quantities, can often fetch higher prices, especially if they're in excellent condition or feature a minting error. So, just how much is a 1950 Lincoln penny worth? Well, as we mentioned earlier, the value depends on several factors, including the coin's condition, any minting errors, and the presence of any rare features. If you've got a 1950 penny that's in good condition and free of significant damage, it could be worth anywhere from $1 to $10, depending on its grade. But here's where things get really interesting. If you have a 1950 Lincoln penny that's in near perfect or uncirculated condition, or if it has a minting error, its value can jump significantly. In fact, one particularly rare 1950 Lincoln penny has been known to sell for an astonishing $46,600 at auction. That's right, $46,600 for a single penny. This goes to show that, in the world of coin collecting, even a coin as seemingly ordinary as the 1950 Lincoln penny can become incredibly valuable under the right conditions. If you're lucky enough to have a rare, error-free 1950 penny or one in near-perfect condition, you could be holding a coin worth a small fortune. In conclusion, while the 1950 Lincoln penny might not seem like the most exciting coin in your collection, don't be too quick to dismiss it. Coins from this era can be worth more than just their face value, especially if they're in great condition or feature rare minting errors. So, if you've got a 1950 Lincoln penny tucked away in your drawer or collection, it's definitely worth taking a second look. Who knows? You could be holding a coin worth $46,600, just waiting to be discovered. Keep on collecting, keep on searching, and remember, sometimes the most ordinary-looking coins hold the greatest potential. Today, we're going to talk about a very special coin that might just be sitting in your collection or even in your pocket change without you realizing its true value, the 1949 Lincoln penny. This seemingly simple coin could actually be worth a lot more than you'd expect, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why. So sit tight as we dive into the fascinating world of the 1949 Lincoln penny and explore what makes this coin so valuable. The Lincoln penny, as many of you know, is one of the most iconic coins in American history. It's been in circulation since 1909 and has gone through various design changes over the years. The original design, which featured a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, front, side and two stalks of wheat on the reverse, back, was crafted by Victor David Brenner. This wheat penny design lasted until 1958 when it was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial design we know today. The 1949 penny, as you may have guessed, falls under the wheat design, which already makes it a coin of interest for collectors. But what makes the 1949 Lincoln penny stand out? Well, the coin's value depends on a variety of factors, including its condition, rarity, and potential minting errors. Let's take a closer look at each of these aspects and why they can make a huge difference in how much your 1949 penny could be worth. First, let's talk about condition. As with most collectible coins, the state of the coin is a major factor in determining its value. Most coins you'll find circulating today have been used and abused, scratched, dented, and worn down over the years. If your 1949 penny has been heavily circulated, chances are it's not going to fetch much more than face value. However, coins that have been well preserved or kept in mint condition can be worth much more. If you happen to have a 1949 penny that is in near mint condition, free of damage, scratches, or discoloration, it can command a significantly higher price from collectors. For example, a well-maintained 1949 Lincoln penny could be worth anywhere from $1 to $20, depending on its condition. If it's graded as MS 65 or higher, which means it's in uncirculated or near perfect condition, the price can increase even more. It's important to remember that collectors are always looking for coins in the best possible condition, and the more pristine the coin, the more valuable it becomes. Now, let's talk about rarity. While the 1949 Lincoln penny wasn't minted in particularly low numbers compared to some other rare coins, it still holds significance in the world of coin collecting. One of the reasons why the 1949 penny is sought after by collectors is because of its age and the fact that it was produced right after World War II. During this time, the U.S. Mint was still recovering from wartime production, and as a result, some coins from this era are rarer than you might think. The 1949 Lincoln penny was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, so if you find a 1949 penny with a D mint mark, it means it was struck in Denver. Most of the 1949 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, and it's the mint markless variety that you'll likely come across most often. However, the 1949 D variety is also quite valuable, especially in top-notch condition. Whether you find a penny from Philadelphia or Denver, if it's in great shape or has any special characteristics, you could have a valuable coin on your hands. But the real jackpot comes when we talk about minting errors. Minting errors are mistakes made during the production of coins, and these errors can dramatically increase the value of a coin. For the 1949 Lincoln penny, there are several types of minting errors that collectors go wild for. One common error is a double die, where the coin is struck multiple times, causing the design to appear doubled or blurry. Double die errors are especially prized because they are rare and unique, making them highly sought after by collectors. Another minting error to look for is an off-center strike, where the coin wasn't properly aligned when it was struck. This results in a coin where part of the design is missing or misaligned. Off-center strikes are visually striking and unique, making them a favorite among collectors who appreciate rare and unusual coins. Now, you might be wondering just how much your 1949 Lincoln penny could be worth. As we mentioned earlier, the value of a 1949 penny depends on its condition and any minting errors it may have. In average condition, a 1949 Lincoln penny might only be worth a few cents or up to a couple of dollars, but if you find one in excellent condition or with a rare minting error, the value can increase dramatically. And here's where it gets really exciting. One rare 1949 Lincoln penny, featuring a unique error, sold at auction for an astonishing $48,900. Yes, you heard that right, $48,900 for a single penny. This just goes to show that sometimes, even the most seemingly ordinary coins can be worth a small fortune, especially when you find one with a rare feature or in pristine condition. That if you're lucky enough to have a 1949 Lincoln penny that's been well preserved, or if you spot any minting errors like a double die or off-center strike, you could be sitting on a valuable coin. It's always a good idea to take a close look at your pennies, especially the older ones, because you never know when you might stumble upon a hidden gem.in conclusion. While the 1949 Lincoln penny may not seem like it would be worth much at first glance, its value can vary greatly depending on its condition and any rare features it may have. So the next time you come across a 1949 penny, take a moment to inspect it closely. If it's in great shape or has a rare minting error, you might just be holding a coin worth $48,900. Keep your eyes open, keep on collecting, and who knows what hidden treasures you'll find next. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and underrated coins in American history, the 1953 Lincoln penny. This coin, while small in size, could potentially be worth a whole lot more than you think. You might be wondering, how much could a penny possibly be worth? Well, stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at the potential value of the 1953 Lincoln penny. Let's take a trip back to the early 1950s for a moment. The 1953 Lincoln penny was minted during a time of great change in America. The country was post-World War II, and there was a significant shift in the economy and culture. The Lincoln penny, which had been in circulation since 1909, featured the familiar design that many of us are familiar with. On the obverse, you'll see the profile of President Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse side shows two stalks of wheat, a symbol of America's agricultural roots. This wheat design remained in use until 1958, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. But what makes the 1953 Lincoln penny so special? Well, let's break it down. The value of any coin depends on several factors, such as rarity, demand, and condition. When it comes to the 1953 Lincoln penny, there are a few important things to keep in mind. While this coin isn't one of the rarest pennies in circulation, certain conditions can make it significantly more valuable than most other pennies from the same era. First and foremost, condition is everything. Just like with any collectible item, the better the condition of the coin, the higher its potential value. If you come across a 1953 Lincoln penny that's been tossed around in your pocket, jar, or piggy bank, it's likely to show wear. Scratches, discoloration, and faded details are all signs of a coin that's been in circulation for quite some time. While these coins are still worth their face value, just 1 cent, they don't carry much collector value. However, if you happen to find a 1953 Lincoln penny that's in excellent condition, well, that's a different story. Coins that are in near mint or uncirculated condition are much more valuable. These coins might have been kept in pristine condition by collectors or could have been stored away in a way that preserved their quality. A well-preserved 1953 penny, with sharp details, no noticeable wear, and a bright shine, can be worth anywhere from a few dollars to a few $100s. So, what does well-preserved mean in the coin collecting world? To give you a sense, a coin that's graded as MS-65 or higher, meaning it has very few imperfections and retains much of its original shine, will fetch a significantly higher price than one that's simply in average condition. It's these high-quality coins that attract collectors and enthusiasts alike, driving up their value in the market. Now, let's talk about something even more exciting: minting errors. Minting errors are essentially mistakes that happen during the production process, and these errors can make a coin extremely valuable. Some of the most coveted and valuable coins in the world are worth so much because of a rare mistake that occurred when they were struck. The 1953 Lincoln penny is no exception. Some of the most sought-after errors include double dies, off-center strikes, and incorrect planchets. For example, a double die error occurs when a coin is struck multiple times, causing the design to appear doubled or blurry. If you find a 1953 penny with a double die, that's a real treasure. Minting errors like these are incredibly rare, and collectors are always on the lookout for them. Similarly, if your 1953 penny has an off-center strike, where the design is misaligned and part of it is cut off or distorted, that could make the coin more valuable as well. These types of errors are what collectors dream of finding, and if you happen to have one in your collection, the value can skyrocket. It's not uncommon for coins with rare minting errors to sell for hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars at auction, depending on how significant the error is. Another factor that can influence the value of your 1953 Lincoln penny is the mint mark. Mint marks are small letters on the coin that indicate where it was produced. The 1953 Lincoln penny was minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coins minted in Philadelphia typically don't have a mint mark, while those produced in Denver have a D mint mark, and those minted in San Francisco have an S mint mark. The mint mark can make a difference in the coin's value, particularly if it's a rarer variety. For example, a 1953 penny minted in San Francisco, with the S mint mark, is generally considered more valuable than one minted in Philadelphia or Denver, simply because the San Francisco Mint produced fewer coins during that year. As a result, collectors often seek out the 1953 Lincoln penny more eagerly than the other varieties. So, let's get to the heart of the matter. Just how much can a 1953 Lincoln penny be worth? As you might have guessed, the value depends on several factors, including condition, rarity, and any minting errors. In average condition, a 1953 Lincoln penny is worth only its face value or perhaps a small premium, usually no more than $1. However, if you have a 1953 penny that is in excellent condition, the price could rise considerably, especially if it's graded as MS-65 or higher. But here's where it gets truly exciting. If you happen to have a rare 1953 Lincoln penny in near-perfect condition or with a valuable minting error, you could be looking at a coin worth thousands of dollars. In fact, one particularly rare 1953 Lincoln penny has been known to sell for an astonishing $44,300. That's right, $44,300 for a single penny. This just goes to show that even the most seemingly ordinary coins can hold incredible value. If you're a coin collector or just happen to have a 1953 Lincoln penny lying around, it's definitely worth taking a closer look to see if it might be in mint condition or feature any rare minting errors. Who knows, you could be holding a piece of American history that's worth much more than just a few cents. So, next time you're sorting through your change or rummaging through your coin collection, keep an eye out for that 1953 Lincoln penny. It might just be the valuable gem you've been searching for. And remember, when it comes to coin collecting, it's not just about the face value of the coin, it's about the history, the rarity, and the potential hidden treasures that lie within. Happy collecting, and who knows what other amazing coins you might discover next.